City of Johannesburg will host Jazz in the Lights Music Festival next Saturday at the Johannesburg Zoo in Rosebank. The Arts Alive celebration event showcases the rich and diverse genre of South African jazz, which infuses the country's social, political and cultural fabric. Joining us now in studio for more on this conversation is City of Johannesburg Arts and Culture and Heritage Director Vuyisile Mshudulu and award-winning singer-songwriter Maleh. Good evening and thank you for coming through to both of you.
Good evening and thank you for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. It's an absolute pleasure. So this was previously known as Jazz at the Lake. Yes. Now it's Jazz in the Lights. Yes. Moving from the lake to the zoo. Tell us about the move, the transition, and what we can expect this year.
Well, the Arts Alive as a festival has had a lot of transformations because it is 31 years that the City of Johannesburg has hosted the Arts Alive International Arts Festival. And one of the flagship initiatives has always been the Jazz Festival. So we then thought of transforming the Jazz Festival to make it a more family-oriented affair. So that it can integrate a whole lot of other activities. So that's why we put it in the zoo so that people can also enjoy the various offerings of the zoo. And it can also be a child-friendly environment. We've got activities for children, and also the elderly will also have an opportunity to come and enjoy the music. And the festival is also curated in a way that caters for the wide, variety of tastes in terms of music. But it is particularly a jazz festival. So that's how we have really pitched the festival this time around.
Right. So Maleh, being a jazz festival yourself, or rather jazz artist yourself in this festival, I'm giving you the whole festival now.
Yes, I love it.
As a young musician, how important is it for such collaborations with the City of Johannesburg in ensuring that musicians are given such a platform, beyond it just being on a financial aspect, but what other issues are able to be necessitated in participating in such a festival for musicians especially?
For me it's an absolute honor. I think I've had the opportunity to perform at the very beginning of my career as a solo artist, and it's really wonderful to see that this kind of platform offers not just to musicians but to artisans throughout the creative industry as well, and it's not every day that you get to perform in front of masses, and the crowd that Jazz in the Lights pulls is really a special opportunity. I'm particularly excited to share the stage with some of the greats in the industry that I grew up listening to, that I was inspired by, the likes of Siphiwe Dana, Juduzo Makhathini as well. I can see is on the lineup, and for me, now celebrating 21 years in the industry, I don't feel so young anymore. But it's, yeah, thank you. But it's such a privilege to be amongst the best in the industry. I think one of the things about Arts Alive as well is giving opportunity to young artists to share these kinds of platforms with the greats, and so I'm just privileged to have been selected to be part of this year's lineup.
To share on that stage. Yeah. We know that COVID-19 was a very difficult time, especially for musicians, and being able to perform on stages was a thing of the past.
For sure.
What lessons did you learn from that time that you take in now with your performances, especially at a festival such as this?
I think that it was a very long break, and it was a difficult time for people all over the world. There's something about coming together and being united, and particularly as artists, this is the space we're able to share our love for what we do in our craft and inspire people. And so the lack of that opportunity to get together was devastating, economically, but just, getting together as a people. So I know I speak for artists throughout the board, across the board, when I say, when we perform now, you leave your entire, you leave your whole heart, you pour everything out of your spirit, and you really hope that people are really able to take it with them, and it keeps them going for some time. So the power of music is exactly that, able to uplift a crowd of people is something else. So I certainly bring my all. this time around more than ever before.
No, we really look forward to it. Vuyisile, maybe let's talk about the economics around this festival. How many jobs does it create? Now that you've made it a family festival, the entrepreneurs that will be able to bring in and participate in the market from immediate communities and surrounding communities, just talk to us about just the economy that will be out of this festival.
Well, it's quite an exciting one, but I want to just step back a little bit and say, as a city of Johannesburg, we're very intentional, even during COVID, to always invest in the arts. So we transformed the festival into a virtual festival to ensure that, artists still have the economic opportunities and are able to generate an income even during those difficult times. And that we don't deprive our audiences of the content, and we presented and streamed the content online. But what we found to be even more profound at the time was that we were able to free artists to express themselves, because a lot of them were feeling a little bit depressed or confined, being unable to express their craft. From an economic perspective, I mean, this is a very useful investment for the city to cultivate the local economy, to ensure that there's greater participation even beyond at the production level. So there's a whole range of artists that are being employed, and that, with one artist, there's a whole range of backline, there's a whole family that benefits. And we have, artists that will be performing with the house band under the leadership of Sydney Mavundla, and it employs a whole range of session musicians. But we also will be creating platforms for SMMEs across the board, creative SMMEs, whether it is those that are providing the stage, the sound, and those that will be selling crafts, food and drinks on the day. So it will just be a whole economic activity. But for us, it's also the people that will be traveling to come and enjoy the music, utilizing the hospitality amenities that are there. And we have curated the festival in such a way that we also give opportunity to our legends that ordinarily would be excluded from the mainstream, whether it is through radio play or even bookings. We've got Ntate Heavy Tswaedi, who's one of the leading legends, and then we have Marcus Wyatt and also Ubabu Andile Yanana, who's a remarkable pianist. And we have also paired them with some established artists such as Ubabu Ndutuzo Makatini and Mbuso Khoza, Aus Maleh and, Sisimpwe Dana, who will be, some of the established artists. But we're also very intentional of bringing in new artists such as Kujenga, for example, which is a band from Cape Town, and their name is a Swahili name that means to build. Yes. So they're really building a great repertoire of music that they will be offering. So it's a great lineup of artists. But we also have startups, in the form of the National School of the Arts, that will be performing, young students that are still learning to play instruments, to experiment with jazz. They may not have found their signature yet, but they will be sharing the stage with these grades. And we also have the Morris Isaacson School of Music that will also be performing on the day. That's
absolutely wonderful, because I can imagine there's so much that other communities can take just from the festival. Are there programs that you have beyond the festival that you continue with other associations, other bands that can live off, train, and then come in for the festival coming next year?
Arts Alive is a multi-dimensional festival which has got several components that includes both capacity building, showcases, and also presentation of content for audiences. So we do have a very strong capacity building program where we have training programs for emerging musicians, but we also, because it's a multidisciplinary festival, are also, providing programs in other disciplines such as visual arts and craft. We've just opened last Sunday an exhibition at the Johannesburg Art Gallery of Tatenda Makaisa. Many people can still go and see it because it's still running. And tomorrow we'll be having the Creative Native at the James Hall Music of Transport, which is really trying to fuse museums and music and bringing together those audiences and creating something phenomenal out of it.
That's so special. That's wonderful. Maleh, you said that you would be performing with greats such as Sisimpwe Dana. What else could people expect? Where do we find tickets? I'm sure people are really looking to be at this festival.
Yeah, absolutely. The tickets are definitely selling out really quickly. Through web tickets, you can make your selections there. And I think for me, I've got my new single that I'm releasing called Muluki on the 28th of March, and I will be performing that, and it's really been an exceptional experience every time I've had the opportunity to perform it. So in front of this kind of audience, I absolutely am looking forward to it.
No, we absolutely are. So it's web tickets that people can find.
Yes.
Are tickets sold at the door as well?
We prefer that people buy their tickets beforehand, to prevent long queues at the door and then losing out on the music, because the program will start promptly at 11 o'clock. But you would have an opportunity, if the tickets are still available at that stage, to buy at the door. Or you can also buy at associated retailers that work with web tickets, whether it is at Soweto Theatre, Joburg Theatre, or even at Pick and Pay. People can find the tickets there.
And any do's and don'ts for the concert goers? Cooler bags?
Yes, collapsible cooler bags are allowed. No liquor will be allowed because it will be sold inside. People can bring in soft drinks in a collapsible cooler box, and no firearms, no weapons, and it's a child-friendly environment. You'll be able to buy food inside and drinks and enjoy the music as well.
All right. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. I'm certain that many that will be attending the festival are so going to enjoy it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.